I think everybody kind of thinks of the Celtics as like they've always been good. It's, like the Yankees, the Cowboys, like they're always good. But right before you got there was probably the worst stretch of their franchise. They missed the playoffs for the
Yeah.
3 years when you're going in there. And in the previous 10 years, Len Bias dies and Reggie Lewis also dies, who were supposed to be like the next faces of the
Yeah.
franchise. And then you almost die. And not only do you not die, like you become one of the best Celtics of all time. I've always just thought like, again, the stabbing alone, incredible, incredible story. But when you realize like that's almost the third Celtic star to like tragically die right when they were about to be good. And then to make that run 2 years later where you're in the conference finals, like, I mean, just what do you think about that? Like, how do you even put that into words?
I, I know. I mean, I've thought about that a lot. Just um, first of all, just going to the Celtics, I wasn't too thrilled to be a Celtic when I got drafted. Because I knew how much I hated the Celtics, and everybody knows this. And I never even worked out for the Celtics for them to draft me.
They asked if you wanted to get traded, right?
Yeah, so like after my stabbing, I had a lot of different meetings with a lot of different people in the organization. Rick Pitino, the owners. Uh, yeah, he was like, Paul, it's up to you. I can get a trade for you. You don't want to be in the city anymore. I think at the time the trade was like for like to go to Houston. There was a trade to go to Houston at the time. I remember. I forget who it was for. But and I was just like, you know what, man, I really enjoy being in Boston. Um, and I just didn't want to run from. I just didn't want to run from whatever was going on. I didn't think. I didn't know if somebody wanted to kill me or there was a vendetta against me or anything. But I was just like, no, I want to be here. I want to play in Boston. That's how much I love the organization. That's how much I love the tradition there. I just, even though we were losing and stuff, I was just like, man, it's no better history, no better organization to play for than here, man. And it's just like I want to be here when it turns around, regardless of what happens. And if somebody's out to kill you, it don't matter where you are. And that's how I felt. They'll find you.
Mm.
That's just
That's that.
honestly how I felt.
That's
And
that
so I didn't want to
Oakland. That's
run
that
from it. And I
Oakland
was just
slash
like,
Inglewood. When
maybe,
Oakland
I
meets
mean,
Inglewood,
but
that's you.
but I wind up, having some of my relatives move out to Boston with me, a few of my friends, and kept it close knit with them, and was real careful on the things I did or the places I went, and it just helped me realize how to move different, and and it really reconcentrated my efforts back on basketball. It refocused me for the simple fact that man, I almost died, and going through this tragedy to where I'm lucky to be here. Let me refocus my life.
It's fair to say it got off the rails a little bit at the the time of the stabbing. Were you not as dedicated to the basketball? Was the off court and the
I wouldn't.
basketball battling each other, or like why do you say you had to refocus? Because to me, that sounds crazy because you play every game, you show up, you like you said, you're the man every day. To me, there was never an idea of like P had to refocus at any point in time in his career. So when you say that, like what was out of focus
Uh,
for you at that time?
it wasn't the thing. It wasn't about just out of focus. It just enhanced what I was already doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was already working my butt off, getting up at 5 a.m. and doing these things. But it just said, all right, I completely cut out social life. I think you got to have balance when you're going through long seasons and dealing with ups and downs. And, there's times you want to go out with your friends and get out the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I completely cut all of that off and just really focused on completely basketball. And so it wasn't like a deal to where I'm saying I wasn't focused. It just enhanced my already top notch focus to another level that I didn't know I had, but I did.
As messed up as it sounds, like, do you think if that doesn't happen that you still have the career that you ended up having, or did that kind of pouring all into basketball essentially make you into the superstar?
I don't, what somebody said, um, after my stabbing, one of the reporters, I remember he said, "You look like you're playing meaner." And I don't know if I didn't get stabbed. I think I still was trajecting toward the way I was trajecting, but maybe it enhanced my attitude. I just, I ended up going to the free throw line more. I just played with more aggression. And I think because of that, I used all my built up animosity to what happened to me on the court. And would I have been a 10-time All-Star NBA champion? I still believe those things would have happened. But, some things happen for a reason, and it made me stronger. It made me smarter, and it helped me grow up really fast, actually, and mature a lot faster than I probably would have before.